But what you're doing is now you're collecting this data from somewhere else and you're pushing it into Facebook, and now you can re-engage from somewhere else. Hey guys, and welcome to this week's episode of Social Marketing. My name is Erik, Hammond of the Orange Stack. Thanks for following along each week as we uncover how to use social media in your business. Today is, if you just read the title, it's probably kind of a boring subject, but retargeting is probably one of the biggest things that I see real estate agents and all the other businesses that we work with missing out on, okay? So you know what retargeting means, but you're just not doing it. I review hundreds of accounts every single month and look at everything that you're doing. Go through all your ads, look at all your dollars being spent, see how you're creating the ad, where you're driving traffic to, your landing pages, all that great stuff. And what I'm seeing is that like 99.9% of you are not retargeting. And that basically means that if somebody engages or watches a video or clicks on an ad or goes to your website, you're not putting a second, third, or fourth touch another ad in front of them. And as they say, it can often take 15, 20 times to touch somebody before they actually convert to a client. So if you're only touching them once, only showing them your website once, you're missing out on a lot of opportunities. So we're going to talk about how to create 3 separate lookalike audiences today based on people that have taken action with some of your content before, and go a little bit deeper on helping you understand how to retarget them. So the first one is creating a custom audience based on an IDX search. This is kind of a little tricky, and we're going to get high level. But if you want more details on how to do this, there's probably a ton of great Google videos you can search out there. And if we get enough requests, I might even make a video about how to do this. But what you're going to want to do is think about it this way. When somebody searches for a home in your area that you serve, right? So let's take an agent who works in Washington, and maybe they're selling homes in the Seattle area, but their area might cover Tacoma, right? And they don't necessarily work in Tacoma a lot, but it might be an area that they're willing to go to because it's not that far away. There's probably a lot of scenarios that you can think of like this, depending on where you work in your area. So meaning that if your MLS covers Tacoma and Seattle, and you get somebody who's searching for homes in Seattle, you're going to want to talk to them and you're going to want to put more content in front of them. So what you can actually do is create a retargeting pixel based on anybody who's visited your IDX feed, right? So if people are searching for houses, and if they search for the keyword or city of Tacoma, you can create an ad that actually says, hey, are you still looking for a home in Tacoma? Here's a list of open houses that we have going on for you. Or here's a list of the 5 coming soon properties that are going to be hitting the market in Tacoma before you know about it. Click here to subscribe, right? There's a lot of different things that you can put in front of that, but basically what you're doing is you're making it ultra specific. You're not just saying, hey, anybody in Washington who wants to buy a house, here's some information. If they're looking at houses based on a Tacoma real estate search, they're only looking in Tacoma. I mean, maybe they're looking at other areas around that, but you can base those search results and give you a better marketing audience. And so from there, what you're going to want to do is basically create a lookalike audience. And what that means is that once you have this group of people that are in Tacoma looking for houses, you're going to want at least 100 of them. More is better, but 100 is the minimum that Facebook looks for. And you can actually go in there and create a lookalike audience. So when you're creating your ad, there's a little button that says create a lookalike audience. And when you check that box, it basically says find more people that match these results. So it's going to say, it's not going to be as specific as finding people who are looking for homes in Tacoma, but you can definitely narrow it down to just the Tacoma area now and say, I just want to show this ad to people who live in the Tacoma area, knowing that there's probably more home buyers, more home searching, maybe even people that are thinking about selling in that area. So now you're going to have a larger audience that's going to be ever changing, because as every day goes by and more people search, that audience gets bigger and bigger and is able to give you better results. The other thing that you can do with this type of a search, which is really cool, is you can check the parameter of time spent, meaning that you can target this audience who's on your IDX feed looking at Tacoma houses, and you can say, I only want to target the top 25% of people who've been on this website, meaning that if you accidentally get somebody who's looked at a home in Tacoma, they're there for a couple seconds, it's really not what they're looking for, and they bounce, you don't want to retarget them. What you do is you want to retarget the people who spent several minutes on your site, looking around, looking at all the photos, reading the descriptions, checking out more about your page in Tacoma. So you can actually change a setting that says only show this ad top 25% of visitors. So let's say your average visitor is a 3-minute view. that's probably 50% of your audience if that's average. So knowing that maybe your top 25% might be 5, 6, 7 minutes or longer on that site, that's a really good audience to target. So those are the big things, is time spent, and you're going to want to pick like that top 25% of people who've been on your site, and then also target based on the search that they're looking for. So a little tricky again, and it depends on the IDX feed that you have and if you can put a pixel into that. There's a lot of cool programs that allow you to do that, but that would be one of your best retargeting messages that you can put out there. The next one is to create a retargeting audience around third-party online leads, right? So we're talking about Zillow, realtor.com, if you get Trulia, things like that. So there's a lot of different third-party programs that provide these leads, and usually what they give you is a name, a phone number, and an email address, right? And so you put it into your CRM, you're emailing them like crazy, you're trying to call them, text them, all this kind of stuff. What if you just use a program that could dump all this data into Facebook, and then you can remarket them automatically based off where they come from? So if you knew that you had 200, 300, 500 leads from Zillow and you can't call any of them, maybe the number is bad, maybe you don't have all the information, or maybe they just don't pick up the phone and you're tired of calling every single day and you have so many people that you're trying to follow up with, push them into your Facebook and actually create a custom audience around a file that you import. So what you do is you're going to actually export a CSV file from Zillow or realtor.com, one of those things, and you're going to get as much data as you can. So we're talking name, phone number, email address, mailing address if they have it, all that kind of stuff, and you're going to correlate all those different columns in Facebook so that you recognize which one's the name, the phone number, the email address, and correlate the two. And then you upload this list into Facebook and you map out those corresponding columns, and then it basically goes to work and it finds these people on Facebook. So now you create this new audience. From what I understand, depending on the quality of the data that you put in there, it's usually about 30% to 40% of the people that you upload it'll find. So if you upload 100 people, it'll probably only find 30 to 40, but that's better than nothing. So you know that Zillow's giving you people who are actively looking for houses. They're on the market. They said, hey, send me more info, something like that. You can't call them, but now you can put really detailed targeted ads in front of them. If you knew the type of house that they're looking at, or if it tells you from Zillow the type of property that they're looking at, again, going back to that Tacoma search, you can now say, hey, you're looking for homes in Tacoma, here's some more information about it based on the search that they have. Or are you still in the market to look for a new home this year? Here's 7 homes that we have coming to the market in the next couple months. Or here's a list of all the open houses that are coming to the market, right? Like, there's so many of these retargeting things that you can do, but what you're doing is now you're collecting this data from somewhere else and you're pushing it into Facebook, and now you can re-engage from somewhere else. So you've called, you've texted, you emailed, they're seeing those couple touch points. Now you can start touching them from Facebook and seeing other things. So no matter where they go, no matter what they do, they're going to see you and everything that you have to offer. So really cool. The other thing is back to the lookalike audience. Now you can go again, create a lookalike audience of these people. So take everybody that's in this new custom audience that you created and create a lookalike audience so that it finds more people who look like this. Just keep pushing more people into this audience, keep building it. You're going to get better results by actually targeting people who are in the market looking for a home to buy that Zillow thinks is ready for them to take a move. So that's another great audience. I just thought about this too. Another cool thing that you could actually retarget them with is videos. So maybe you have watched a lot of my videos and you understand the importance of what video is doing for our industry right now. Video is on fire. It's unbelievable. We're going to talk about video in a second a little bit more. But instead of just, coming soon properties or open house lists, things like that, what if you retarget all these people who are on Zillow looking for houses, and you've created a vlog or you created a special video about living in Tacoma or something unique about that area, or how to be a A+ buyer in today's market, right? And you push that video now to everybody who you found on Zillow. That would be a fantastic video, and you can just say, hey, show this video to anybody that fits this audience that I've been able to find from Zillow. That'd be a fantastic ad, by the way. So big asterisks, go and do that right now. Okay, the last one, number 3, is to create a lookalike audience of anybody who's engaged with at least 75% of your video or more. So we just talked about creating some cool video and how to remarket them. Let's say you take that Zillow audience, keep using Zillow. Let's say you take that Zillow audience, you show them a video about living in Tacoma, about how amazing it's going to be there, or about the homes that you sell, or a featured property or something like that. Now, you can actually go into Facebook and say, I only want to target people that have watched at least 75% or more of the video that I showed them. So if they watch a whole video of an open house that you've shown, or a 5-minute video of why you'd want to live in Tacoma, you got to assume that these are going to be great candidates to follow up with, right? So you can go and create, basically under engagement, you pick the option that says show this content to basically people who've watched 75%. You can choose 50, 95%. There's a whole bunch of different things that you can choose, but I would try 75% because it's going to whittle your list down to a much more qualified audience. Not many people watch full videos, posts. So you're going to weed a lot out if you choose 100, but you want to be more than 50 to have a qualified list. Basically from there, you're going to create this list, and that's going to be your audience name could be something like people who watch a lot of video, right? So now you've created this audience. Again, you're going to go back, create a lookalike audience of everybody who's engaged with this video. So now instead of just a couple hundred people, Facebook's now maybe found 20, 30, 40,000 people that have similar interests to these people who watch a lot of your video. So knowing that they're probably out house hunting, they live in Tacoma, they're buying houses, they're doing something in real estate, that's the lookalike audience that you're looking for. So again, if they're watching these videos, you want to have content that basically says like, look, you're on the market looking for a house. Have you not been able to find anything yet? You need to call me. Let's work together. Drive them to maybe a messenger app so that you can start that conversation of what they're looking for. So now you have the opportunity to target people who are really interested in buying or selling or doing something in real estate, right? So instead of mailing out thousands of postcards to a farm that you think has a high turnover rate, maybe you send out 1,000 cards and get a 3% response rate, which would be fantastic, but probably not going to happen. It's probably more like 1 or less, and you're spending 40, 50, 60, 80 cents per card to get out there. You basically have this beautiful list that Facebook's put in front of you that says these guys are ready to do something. They're ready to take action in real estate, put something in front of them, and you're going to be spending 1 or 2 pennies per view, right? Per video view, per engagement, getting in front of somebody. Much better quality use of your marketing budget. So figure out how to get in front of the people that way. Go create these 3 lookalike audiences. Again, start retargeting, guys. I know that it's kind of tricky to figure out. Just go Google how do I retarget. There's plenty of videos out there that you can see on how to do this. You're going to have fantastic results, but go create these 3 lookalike audiences and you'll see your Facebook results go off the chart. So thanks for following along, guys. I really enjoy making these videos. I hope you're getting some good quality content out of it, and be sure to look for our Facebook Friday videos on Friday. They come out live 10 a.m. Pacific every Friday, and be sure to subscribe to our newsletter by clicking wherever we put that link. Some great tips in there too on how to use social media in your business. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for following along, and talk to you soon.